Your Grace, Leon Hildegarde, at your service. I'm your escort for the day. Yes, I am new. I finished my training last week. Escorting you is my first mission as a Raven. If you're worried that I'm too new, you don't need to be. If I didn't think I could protect you, I wouldn't be standing here. The Ravens did tell me you don't like taking escorts to town. They said the last fledgling assigned to you did such a bad job that you've refused to be escorted ever since. You either cancel your plans, make one of the senior Ravens come with you, or sneak out on your own. Forgive me, but you won't be able to do that this time. The coachmen all know I'm supposed to come with you today. If you try to leave on horseback, I'll follow. On foot if I have to. Having a guard accompany you when you leave the estate is an order from the Duke, Your Grace. One he enforces for all his children, not just you. Even if you ordered me to stay behind, I'd have to heed his command before yours. I'm sorry. You're right. You don't need an escort. The Ravens told me all about you, how skilled you are with a sword, bow, or any other weapon you can get your hands on. They said you're a skilled enough fighter to pin opponents twice your size. And I've seen the bruises you leave on your sparring partners. The first Kreigerwolffs would be proud to know their house has such a skilled fighter. I'm sure you'd send any attacker to the dungeons in pieces. Just because you don't need one doesn't mean you shouldn't have one. Skill has nothing to do with it. After everything your family has done for the people, you deserve to have someone protecting you for once. I consider it an honor. You'll have to speak to the captain if you want a different guard, and she's preoccupied with matters of the estate. You'd have to ask her tomorrow. She did say that if you really didn't want me as an escort, I should ask Lord Elijah to accompany us. She said you might feel more comfortable with your brother there. Would you like me to go get him? You don't want him to come. I see. I understand. I'll talk to the captain tomorrow and... You've changed your mind? Thank you, Your Grace. I promise I won't let you down. After you? Your Grace. Forgive me. I can carry this, but I can't take it back to the carriage unless you come with me. I can't leave you alone that long. Not following you into the shop was different. I could see you through the window and see anyone who was going in or out. If there was a fight, I could have come inside quickly. It would take me at least 10 minutes to get to the carriage and back. That's more than enough time for someone to attack you and escape. It doesn't matter if it's crowded. Not if they're trying to kill you. It only takes a few seconds to slit a throat. We're heading back already. Are you sure? You've only been to one store. I can carry more than this if you're worried about it. Understood. My apologies. Your Grace, stop. Hold this. Because I need both my hands to hold my sword, and I don't want to put it on the ground. Someone might step on it. Thank you. I know you're there. Show yourself.
Sharp eyes you've got there, boy.
State your business.
Why should I? I'm not breaking any rules. This alley's free for anyone to use. That Kreigerwolff pup you're walking may be wealthy, but even they don't own the cobblestones.
If you know who they are, then watch your tone. They've done more for the people of this duchy than anyone, certainly more than you.
Now that's harsh. I do plenty for the people. You wouldn't believe how many nobles go around hunched over like birds because their clothes are stuffed with gold. I give them lighter pockets so they don't hurt their backs. What about you, little wolf? You look as though you have coins to spare. Want me to take them off your hands?
Touch a hair on their head, you'll be leaving without yours.
Is that a promise? I hope your sword's as sharp as your eyes then, boy, because we have plenty of heads to go around. I'm not unreasonable. If you leave the pup here, my men and I might be willing to let you go. Then again, we might not. Better choose quickly.
When you see an opening, run. Get back to the carriage and... I told you to run!
What are you, children? You can't handle a boy with a shiny new sword and a bare-handed pup? I'll take the guard myself. The rest of you, make yourselves useful and grab the Kreigerwolff.
Let them go.
Your fight's with me, boy. Your dog will be fine, as long as you don't get... Guess your sword is as sharp as your eyes.
Now tell your men to let them go, or I'll swear to the gods I'll... Captain.
Looks like the jig is up, boys. Swords down. I have to hand it to you, Hildegarde. You're a terror once you've got a fire in you. I pity the fool whoever tries to hunt a Kreigerwolff on your watch.
I don't understand. You're all ravens.
And the sky's blue. Anything else obvious you'd like to say, or are you going to get that sword out of my face? Did you not hear me? Put down your sword.
Why should I?
What?
Why should I let you up instead of slitting your throat? Tell me.
Because I'm your superior, boy.
You raised a sword against a Kreigerwolff. That's treason. You're no superior of mine.
So what? Going to kill me then? The rest of the flock here won't be so pleased.
They're as traitorous as you are. I don't need their permission.
And what about your charge? If all of us decided to attack them instead, do you think you could stop us?
If I can't, then I'll die trying. Consider that a promise you asked for earlier, Captain.
I knew I liked you for a reason. The rest of you could learn a thing or two from him. This is how a raven should act.
What are you talking about? Is this a trick? It's not going to.
Relax, boy. I'm no traitor. None of us are. This was a test.
A test.
To see if you're a fit guard. We do it for every fledgling after they've taken their vows. Training's well and good, but it's different when you're on your own. This was to see how you'd handle a group, and whether or not you'd abandon your charge if things turned sour. We weed out most of the cowards during training, but every now and then one slips through. The last fledgling who went out with your charge, for example. He fought for a bit, but as soon as I offered him an out, he ran with his tail between his legs.
That doesn't... I was fighting to kill. What if I...
Please. You're damn good with a sword, Hildegarde, but you're still new. I wouldn't be captain if I couldn't stop a few swings from a fledgling. Although, I'll admit, you did a lot better than most. Got me good earlier, too.
What about the others?
There's a reason I only bring a handful of men for this, and it's not because the whole flock would be overkill. I only bring the best. You were as much danger to them as we were to your charge. None at all.
I see. Forgive me. I was out of line earlier. I'll accept whatever punishment you give me.
Get your head up, boy. I'm not going to punish you. What's one more scar? I'm glad you didn't believe me. Wouldn't do for a raven to be that trusting, even towards their own flock. Not when your charge's neck is on the line. Speaking of which, that was quite the fight you put up, Your Grace. You must be fond of Hildegarde if you're willing to fight that hard for him. If I didn't know better, I think you were scared for him. We'll be heading back to the estate. I expect you to fight just as hard for them in the future, Hildegarde.
Of course, Captain. Always.
That's what I like to hear. Enjoy the rest of your outing, Your Grace. I'll tell your parents about Hildegarde's performance. I'm sure they'll be pleased.
So they weren't all traitors. That's a relief. Permission to speak freely, Your Grace. Did you know this would happen? You were trying so hard to leave me behind today. Not just at the estate either. You wanted me to go back to the carriage after you left the shop. And when you couldn't convince me then, or back at the estate, you had this look in your eyes. You were guilty about something. I see. That's why you've rejected every escort after the last one. You didn't know about the test the first time. Then when the captain said I should ask Lord Elijah to come with us, was she implying he'd go even if you didn't? So that she could still do this test? Why not let him? If you didn't want to be used for a test like before, why not let me escort your brother instead? Why bother trying to send me back to the carriage earlier? Protect me. But I wasn't in any danger. You heard the captain. This was only a test. You don't want anyone to get hurt for your sake. Nothing. Forgive me. You just remind me of someone I knew once. You should get going. Did you still want to go back to the estate? Or do you want to keep shopping now that the test is over? Upset. Why would I be? It makes sense that your family would want to test their guards. Your Grace, I didn't take this position so I could stand outside the gates with a sheathed sword. I did it to protect you. If this proves your family can trust me, I'll do it as many times as they want. It's worth it. More than worth it. I'm honored that you care so much, but please, don't worry about me. Let me worry about you this time. Thank you. I appreciate it more than you realize.